saying everything that I like.
Alright, what's up, y'all? It's your girl Karina, and welcome back to Fem Talk, where we will be having open and honest conversations with different individuals in the LGBTQ plus community. And if you guys haven't, don't forget to check out the first episode of Fem Talk, wherein King Gay and I had a quite interesting conversation about fuckboys from a Fems perspective. So what's Fem Talk? Well, for those of you guys who don't know, Fem Talk is a podcast that highlights different individuals in the LGBTQ plus community. And it's also a safe space where we can have those open and honest conversations about the problems that we face as they regard to our relationships, our society, and the obstacles of living in our truth. So tonight we have an extremely special segment with a super special guest, somebody near and dear to my heart. Beyond, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
For having me. My name is Beyond. My artist name is Beyond Existence. I am a recording artist, music producer, singer-songwriter, just all around creative. Living in Los Angeles, enjoying this sunny weather and these palm trees. Been here for about 8 years.
I know that's right, okay?
And I am an androgynous male. He, him are my pronouns.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for clarifying that for us. So I do have a couple of questions that I would like to ask you. I did hear that you mentioned that you're an androgynous male. So what does androgyny mean and why is that important to you?
Androgyny, to me, is the balance of the overall spectrum of femininity and masculinity. And to me, it's very important because it's my truth. I feel like that I've always lived within that balance. And it was a balance that I fought for, an identity that I fought for, not only with strangers, but with my family as well, with being misunderstood. And I feel like that it's really important because people need to understand that that is a balance. And that is also another perspective that is very important. So yeah.
That's true. With that being said, have you had any backlash being an androgynous male from your family, people in the industry?
I've had backlash before. Like, I feel like I've worked with people that didn't really respect my time because of how they interpreted my androgyny. Yeah, I've had backlash with my own family, church community, friends from the past, even girlfriends. You know, I've had falling out with girlfriends because it was, it became a beauty contest and it became it just became a mess. So yes, there was backlash, but I got good friends now.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that because as long as you got the right people around you now, that's good though, to be able to overcome that because it's unfortunate that you have to experience the backlash from those people. But with that being said, I got a couple more questions for you. What are your thoughts on mask for mask relationships?
I'll say this. There's things that I feel and there's things that I notice.
Okay.
I feel that, just like in the straight community, where there's racism and there's sexism and there's, toxic masculinity and toxic femininity, the same thing applies to the LGBTQ plus community, where, I've noticed that if you don't have a beard and you're not a butch queen or you don't look straight passing, your dating opportunities are a little bit more, few.
Right.
I noticed that I get a different reaction when I'm on the more masculine side of my androgyny versus like when I'm on the more feminine side. Like I noticed that with gay men that identify as gay, I noticed that they aren't really interested in me unless I look straight. And I noticed that DL and bisexual men are more interested in me because they're attracted to beauty versus like I noticed that gay men, they're more so attracted to masculinity, but they applaud beauty, when it's a performance or when it's entertainment and that kind of sort, but it's like not good enough to date. And I think that is a lot of psychological damage in our community because I don't think androgyny is as respected and as precious and as cherished. I just feel like, it's so applauded when a straight man is able to be androgynous. But I feel like, like Prince, for instance, everybody loved Prince because Prince was an androgynous man. And he was
I'm like,
sexy. And you know, and he had all the girls, and that's Dad. So shout out to the Purple Rain shirt you got on. That's Dad. I grew up on Prince and Rick James and those type of guys where they push that envelope of what a man can and cannot do. But even then, like, they were never able to, not saying that they were in a closet or anything, but I don't feel like the reaction to them would have been the same if they would have came out the closet at that time.
Right.
And I feel like now, in the times that we live in, I'm more liberated to be like, yes, I am a part of the LGBTQ plus community, and I'm androgynous. You know, as an androgynous male, I'm a part of this community. And I noticed that it's something that's, you know, slowly but surely changing. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it can be a little discouraging with the master mask stuff, because I'm just anytime I like a guy, I'm like, oh damn, like am I masculine enough? Is he gonna, you know, or blah 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 blah. So
right,
it's challenging.
Well, are you navigating through those challenges? Like, are you dating? Are you seeing anybody?
Girl, I'm trying. I'm really trying, but it's just a whole, you know, I'm 30, girl. I come from the 90s, 91, baby. You know, when the men approached you, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
And now it's like,
rare nowadays.
Yeah, it's different. Like the mass boys, they want to be approached. They want to be chased. They want to be catcalled. They want all of that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, I'm not doing that. Bitch, I got heels on. I'm not going to do all of that. My feet is not going to be chasing you in these heels. Like, that's not happening.
Right, because I'm the one who needs to be wine and dine over here. So let's try that again. So I definitely understand. Well, good luck to you on that. Especially because, you know, I know it must be hard dealing with that challenge, but you got it, my love. Other than that, what do you think of the also controversial Lil Nas X at the moment?
Lil Nas X, I will say he grew on me. As somebody that is androgynous and want to be taken seriously, and I equally respect both masculine energy and feminine energy. Sometimes it is hard for me to digest certain aspects of the gay community where I feel like femininity sometimes come across as parody. Mm-hmm. And at first, in the beginning, I was just kind of like, okay, what is this? Like, we got these wigs, we got this stripper pole going to hell, we got these red braids and this brief with the thigh high heels. Like, what's going on? Because if I'm gonna put thigh high heels on, it's gonna be a slay that you're gonna have to take serious. You won't be able to write me off as like, oh, look at this gay shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're gonna have to respect what I'm doing. So in the beginning, it was kind of a little hard for me to digest him because there was so much happening, and I didn't know if it was authentic. I didn't know what it was. But actually listening to his recent interview that he did with the Breakfast Club, I was just like, you know what? He's just having fun, and he's just making people think. And he's challenging what is the norm and what is comfortable. And in return, you know, he's not just making straight people think, he's also making people like myself think, you know, because I have these high standards when it comes to androgyny, you know, and I realized that there's space for everybody to express themselves in the way in which they express themselves. Now, the way he would express his femininity or his androgyny is completely different from how I would express mine, but I can still appreciate his perspective because it is a perspective, and he's talented.
It is. And it's one hell of a perspective too. I respect it too. Don't get me wrong. I definitely do. Sometimes at first I was like, it could be a little much. I'm not sure. It was a video I was watching and it was a bunch of naked men. They was dancing and I was like, ooh, child. But overall, I definitely respect his vision and his boldness to be able to be himself and do that. So I agree.
And I think in the beginning when I was kind of like, I don't know. I think it was more so like coming from my own toxicity of like wanting the straight community to respect us and take us so serious. But Lil Nas X is saying, why the fuck do we care about what they think about us? So you see what I mean? So,
yeah.
So it just, I like what he's doing.
Earlier, I heard you mention something about toxic masculinity versus toxic femininity. So can you elaborate on that a little bit, or what did you mean by that?
With toxic masculinity and toxic femininity, what I notice is that what we're dealing with is, simply put, entitlement. there's a certain level of entitlement that comes with both. And with toxic masculinity, it's so much of proving that you're a man. It's all about being dominant and being completely opposite of anything that is feminine, and being in control and taking the lead all the time. And I noticed that when I feel like, from what I noticed with some of the men that I respect as men, as I noticed that they know, one, when to shut the fuck up. They know when to be the solution and not add to the problem. Things like that. Like, and I feel like toxic masculinity doesn't allow you to do that. So that's how I would categorize toxic masculinity. With toxic femininity, it's the entitlement of, oh, I'm gonna, because I am feminine, I'm gonna have, or because I'm a woman, I'm entitled to having a husband, a boyfriend, being a wife, getting married, having kids, da 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 da. And it's like, not realizing that you're not really entitled to any of that. Like, if it happens, then it should be something that is organic. You shouldn't be worshipped just because you're beautiful, or, you know, people don't have to kiss your ass because you're beautiful and da da da. And that doesn't put you, you know, we're still all human. And back to toxic masculinity, you know, I noticed that living in LA, girl, living around the models and working with them and stuff like that, it's a lot of ego. It's a lot of ego, and it gets in the way of just genuine connection. It gets in the way of the simple things. So, yeah.
Cause look, that's got me thinking, like, am I toxic? Okay. No.
We all got a little bit of it. We do.
Am I a little toxic femininity going on there? But no, it's okay. Like you said, we're all still human. So we could work with that. But okay.
But it's like, as an example, like when I mentioned earlier, like, I'm not gonna chase no man in no heels.
Mm-hmm. No.
You see what I mean? That could slightly be, I don't feel like that's toxic feminine energy, but somebody else may interpret it as toxic feminine energy. But to me, I'm just like, it's like, okay, it's like the same, like, people interpret beauty differently, you know what I mean? So like, if I'm out of the club and I'm did up and I got my hair on and my lashes on and da 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 da, like, and I'm in more of my feminine state, I don't want to chase, I don't want to hunt. I'll flirt, I'll play around, I'll reciprocate, you know what I mean? But when I'm in that part of my, yeah, it's like when I'm in that spectrum of my androgyny, like, I'm not in the mindset to do that. Now, when I'm more like scruffy and I'm more, you know, in my masculine spectrum of my androgyny, I do as a man want to hunt. I do want to do that. But at the same time, I don't want to be humiliated. So it's just like, yeah.
It's a back and forth, because I definitely agree though, because I feel the same way. Even as a woman, like, I've never been a woman afraid of going after a woman myself, like, because a lot of femmes like to be that same role. Oh, well, I just want my studs to come to me, like, well, I will go after who I want if I want you and if I'm in that state. But most of the time, I want the chase too. It just feels nice for you to come up to me and show me the appreciation. You feel me? So.
Right, and you shouldn't have to wait. I have a friend that's working on me right now. She's just like, it's okay to go after what you want, you know? And what I realize is that in the process of me going after what I want, now, you don't have to be thirsty. You don't have to be, you know, hungry about it. But it's like, I can let a guy know what's up and let him know that I'm interested without me necessarily having to say that I'm interested. You know what I mean? Or if I want to say that, then I can say that. And then in that moment, I'm able to assess, can he handle me? Because that's what's important to me. Is like, I want to be with somebody that can handle me. I don't want to be with somebody that's I want to be respected, but I don't want to be with somebody that's intimidated by me to the point where they're afraid to be themselves.
Yeah, because then, I mean, the relationship wouldn't work otherwise if you're not able to be that, if you're not able to be yourself in that sense.
Yeah, I get exhausted, girl. I'll be having to go. I'm working on not leaving the moment I think somebody's not attracted to me. Like, the moment I think a guy's not attracted to me, girl, I'll be like, well, you know, what are we doing? Let me get up out of here.
Let me know, because is it real or not? Because I got other things to do. So.
Yeah, because people will try to string you along when they don't really like you that much. Like,
and I don't know why we couldn't let me go be great with somebody else. Thank you. Your loss. But so what are your biggest challenges as an androgynous male?
Not being misinterpreted.
And what do you mean by that?
Meaning, like, I love the advances in the trans community. I love my trans brothers and sisters, and I support them as an ally of the LGBTQ plus community, as a member of the LGBTQ plus community. And I feel like that their journey is so real and it's so authentic and it's something that should be respected. And I think just because I throw on a wig and lashes and heels doesn't make me a trans woman. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
that's true.
Yeah, it's the same way. It's the same way even in like lesbian culture. Like, just because every girl that you see or every quote unquote stud that you see doesn't necessarily identify as a trans man. I can have stud friends that they want to be respected as women. They're just different types. They're just a different type of woman. And they're just androgynous, like me. Like, sometimes they want to throw their heels and they dress on and get a little softer. I like to have options. I'm an artist.
Yeah.
I don't want two colors. I want the whole fucking coloring box, and let me do whatever I will.
Right. You don't want to be placed in a little box either. So I definitely agree.
Yeah, I don't want to be placed in a box. I did a role. Thank God this movie is never coming out. But I did a role, and this director, she talked me into, playing a trans woman in this role. And I really didn't feel comfortable playing the role. I did slay it, but I didn't feel comfortable playing.
I was gonna say.
Okay, I was gonna slay it, but I didn't feel comfortable playing the role, and I feel like it was culturally inappropriate for me to play that role because there's so many trans women that don't get the opportunity to play those roles. And what was pissing me off was like, why did you come and get me when you could have got a beautiful trans woman to play this role that could have made her that debut? But then I realized that at that time, that director wanted to exploit my beauty. She wanted me to be what she thought of me in her head.
Right. And that wasn't it for you.
And it wasn't it for me. And then, due to the universe protecting me the way that it does, nothing worked out for it to actually come out. We did all that shooting, girl, all that lighting, all them directors, big ass mansion and all that stuff, and it's never coming out. And I prayed.
All right. So Beyond, as an androgynous male, how does that work in the industry? Like, do you receive any issues? Is it difficult to work with people? Do they make it difficult to work with you? Tell me a little bit more about that experience.
You know what? There are definitely challenges. Luckily, I'm trained. So meaning like, I studied a bachelor's for vocal performance in, opera, jazz, classical, contemporary.
Multi-talented. Okay.
Okay. And then I actually got my degree. I graduated from Los Angeles Film School, aka recording school. Shout out to LA Film. I graduated summa cum laude for music production. So I'm able to cut past having to rely on producers. So I don't have to do with producers because I produce. My biggest hangups were dealing with engineers at the time. Now I have a whole roster of engineers, love them. But the ones I was working with in the beginning, I felt like that they didn't really get my androgyny, or I didn't feel respected. I didn't feel like that my money meant the same as everybody else's. I didn't feel like my time was as valuable to them as everybody else's because of, them being straight. So it kind of discouraged me for a little bit. And then I kind of went on a silent streak where I was just like, damn, like, how am I going to build this? Like, I don't want to go and waste money at a recording studio where I'm just going to be rushed in and out. And the engineer is not going to, respect my time in this studio. And I don't want to spend money to sit there and argue. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I prayed about it. And, over time, I was just like, you know what? I'm going to buy the microphone. I'm going to buy the interface. My whole studio setup is in my room. So I can record in the comfort of my home. And I have engineers that mix and master my product with the utmost respect. And I've never met them in person.
Wow. That's amazing. Because literally to not have met them and they're doing all this for you. But first of all, I respect that you got the setup at the house. because talk about convenient. So yes, that's really dope though. That's good that you've been able to overcome that, because it could have been easy for you to get more discouraged and give up because of the treatment that you were getting from them. So
yeah, and I shouldn't have to go to the studio and sing about having sex with women when that's not what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I want to feel like with exercise, you know, I'm saying I want you to lift me like a bench press. You know, think like when I want to be an adult in my music, like I don't have time for what the fuck, because you're trying to prove that you're so straight and da da da. Like I don't have time for that and those dynamics. And then I also have toxic masculinity when it comes to straight men, because I'm just like, now I got to beat my chest. You know what I mean? So I try to stay out of those type of spaces, because I'm there to create. I'm there for the art, and when you get caught up in all of the drama, like the art suffers, and I have to realize that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but yeah, I definitely understand. With that being said, I do have one last question for you. Who, as an artist, is your biggest hero, or in general, who's your biggest hero?
I would say outside of art, it would be Christ, of course. Like that's my king. Like that unconditional love. Like when I don't understand me, I always have him to tap into to give me understanding in ways that people don't think that he would give me understanding. You know, in regards to my sexuality and my identity, all my understanding came from the king. So it's just like when people try to come for me, it's like I didn't get the answer from you, so I really don't care. So
right, like I got my God, it's cool.
Yeah, I know he got me.
Right.
That's why seahorses can have children. That's why you see so much of it in nature, you know. So it's like, but that's as a holistic hero. But I would say musically and artist wise, it would definitely be Prince, Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, and a bunch more. Anybody that's fearless, anybody that can get on stage for hours and just slay it effortlessly because they were rehearsing for months or years in advance. Like, you're a hero in my eyes. Like, because I'm trying to get to the place in my life where I'm living in rehearsal, living on tour. So those are my heroes.
Okay, cool. Well, that was some good choices though. Beyonce is definitely my top one. So I mean,
Queen.
I think we all love Beyonce. So okay, so beyond being an artist like yourself, how do you think that you're going to be perceived by your audience?
You know, what's interesting is that in the beginning, I really didn't know my audience. In the beginning, my music wasn't as, it was spiritual, but it wasn't as liberated, meaning like I didn't provide the space for me to be sexy or sensual when I wanted to be, or vulgar or aggressive when I wanted to be. And now I've provided that space for me. And I noticed that, you know, one, I used to worry about, like, people started to be like, oh, straight people got to be able to listen to this and da 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 da. I don't give a fuck about none of that, because one, my girls rock with me. All the pretty girls, all the girls, they gonna rock with me because I'm gonna make you feel sexy. I'm gonna make you feel confident. I'm gonna let you know when that nigga acting up. Like, it's just I'm the gay best friend, you know, musically. So that's as far as with my girls. And the guys are gonna play my shit because the girls love my shit. You know what I mean? That's just how men are. They're gonna play what the girls are listening to.
Right. They're gonna be like,
because they want to make sure that, yeah. Oh, you like exercise? Oh, let me put that on real quick. So, and then on top of that, with people like Lil Nas X, he is paving the way. People, not just Lil Nas X, but let's talk about Saucy Santana too. Saucy Santana,
okay.
Yeah, I feel like Saucy Santana is that girl, and I feel like Saucy Santana need to be respected more on a mainstream level. And I feel like it's coming. We hear her, like he busting through. Don't get it twisted, but I feel like he's definitely on to something in a lot of ways, because hip hop is very homophobic. It definitely is. Yeah. You got to have a certain type of attitude to be able to handle all of that. And I feel like Santana got that.
And it's funny that you say it's I'm sorry, not to cut you off. I just had a thought. Go ahead. I just hate that hip hop is so homophobic right now, because we have artists like Boosie and everybody else who speaks out against homophobia, but literally promote it in their earlier videos just with lesbianism, you know? So I definitely respect Santana for doing everything it is that he's doing, because he's doing that shit like unapologetically, totally himself. with the girls, like I'm literally here for it. So
yeah. And like I said, you see how the girls back him up. The girls like, oh, play that Santana, because they gonna throw their back out.
Yep. Okay.
And oftentimes you'll hear amongst the men, I notice in the gay community, you know, everybody's trying not to be too flamboyant. And what I've realized is that with artists like Lil Nas X and artists like Santana is that it works for them. So they've actually inspired me to embrace more of my flamboyant nature. You know, I'm very flamboyant with my girls, with my friends, off camera, outside of my artistry. Because I can be playful with my girls without feeling like, oh, these bitches gonna take me as a joke. You know what I'm saying? But then I realized is that like what's the worst part about people perceiving you as a joke? They just gonna laugh, but at the end of the day, they still clicking your shit. They still playing your record. People can say, "Oh, what the fuck they still checking on? Why this bitch talking about having to put?" Yeah, but guess what? They're still playing Santana song at the club. They're still playing Lil Nas X at the club. As flamboyant as they are, that's what's keeping their names in your mouth, on your mind, and on them turntables.
You better tell them. You better tell them. That's facts.
And it made me realize, like, it's okay, shake your ass on a track. I got music that's coming out next year that's gonna make you pop your back in a place. Honey.
Listen, like, I'm gonna need to hear that track right now because I've been ready to twerk some, honey. Okay. Twerk some, twerk some, twerk some. Let me see it, twerk some.
Okay. Trust me, yes. You're gonna bang it up next year. You're gonna bang it up next. Look.
All right, I'm gonna listen.
We working.
Listen, if you shoot the video, let me know. Let me know.
Oh, I already got you, girl. Yeah, I already got you. You already know. You know, we blondies. We different right now, but
no, for real. But it's okay because we're really twins in real life.
Look, I'm just happy that I understand my audience more because even going to like events like the Afties, where that is Black gay culture right there. You know, and even getting more familiar with the faces in there, because I don't know nobody, and I love that about myself. Because when I'm around the who's, I don't know who's who, so like they receive me more because I'm not on some clout chasing shit. You know what I mean?
Right. And it be people just popping up at Afties too.
Oh yeah, they pop up, and it's just like the moment I get the right record in that atmosphere, it's over.
It's gonna be over.
People everybody want to dance. Everybody want to feel like a bad bitch. It's the formula. It's right there.
It's right there, especially because you know the right people too, and you're in the right space. So when you drop that twerk song, girl, we gonna be at the Afties. Listen, I want to see it go up, hey, go up, go up, hey, go up.
Bookie, boo, girl. Okay.
I'm excited. I'm super excited for you. I can't wait to support.
Yeah, it's all coming together. I'm ready.
Yes, well, we're definitely ready for you. So I do want you to tell us a little bit about your music, what you have coming up before we head out today. Let us know where we can find you.
Okay, so you guys can find me. First, we'll start with, I have 2 singles that came out this year. Exercise, which is like a sexy R&B when you in the mood, you know. It is a 6-minute song, but it's for that moment, if you know what I mean.
All right. So I get you.
When you need a little exercise, girl. And then I have another single called Serious, which is, you know, what it sounds like. It's like me basically saying, you know, there's a connection between me and this guy, but I don't ever take him serious because he don't love me the way I need to be loved type situation.
Ooh, don't I know how that feels? Okay.
Okay. It's like you want to take it serious, but you just like, nah, you ain't got me the way I need you to have me. But you can find both of those singles on Apple Music, Spotify, pretty much every streaming platform. You can Shazam it, whatever. And it's under Beyond Existence. And I have some, you know, I have a single that's going to come out on New Year's and a single that's coming out on Valentine's Day.
Okay. You've been busy.
Yeah, we busy. And something big is coming in April, but we're not going to talk about it right now. We're going to do that.
Well, look, we're just going to make sure we keep up with you at Beyond Existence on all streaming platforms, right?
Yep. Instagram is 3_Beyond Existence.
All right. You guys Heard him, Beyond Existence. Make sure you guys follow up with him for his new singles. And again, make sure you guys tune into the first episode of Fem Talk. Thank you guys for watching with us tonight. Beyond, thank you so much for being here. It was a pleasure speaking with you. You enjoy your night, y'all.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.